Hello and a pleasant welcome to yet another episode of Situation Report on Live TV. A Situation Report brings you 30 minutes in-depth analysis about major current events in Monrovia and its environs. My name is Yekezi Zobel, your anchor, and major stories we follow in this evening say a UK philanthropic organization signs a 3-year partnership agreement with the Liberia National Cricket Association or Federation. 2017 defeated presidential candidate Magdala Cooper says the purpose of children has been misguided in Liberia and the world at large. And the human rights activist criticizes the $536 million USD loan agreement between the government of Liberia and Eton Financing. We bring you all of these major developments plus so much more. Once more, I'm Yekezi Zowel asking you to please invite someone to view along as we take this interview. To be right back. A pleasant welcome back to the program. Straight into our developments. Farm for Liberia, that's Farm for Life, a UK philanthropic organization, has signed a 3-year partnership agreement with the Liberia National Cricket Federation. In the agreement, the UK philanthropic organization committed itself to donating new or slightly used equipment, kits, stationaries, digital materials and medical materials to the National Cricket Federation of Liberia. Farm for Life in the agreement also promised the provision of training programs and clinic support development programs, volunteer assistance when available, amongst others. The organization, following the signing of the partnership agreement, donated several cricket sporting materials to the Liberia National Cricket Federation. Lord Clewell and Francis Assay are co-founded and sports coordinator respectively of Farm for Life, and they spoke to Situation Report right after the donation.
We've brought a load of kit so that they can play cricket. Within the cricket game, it's other, we're looking at the disabled sports. We're looking at not just cricket, but to help blind, to help the disabled and to play a new sport, cricket. Plus, we want to go into other areas, like we bring, in countries in Africa, we bring aid, and we bring wheelchairs, crutches, educational stuff, and so, but we all work around cricket. Football is brilliant, but there's more to life than football. There's other sports out there that offers different dimensions, and cricket offers a different way of sport. It's about respect. It's about understanding your fellow player. It's so much you can learn from cricket.
I think the main thing should be the foundations, isn't it? If you set the foundation right, then it means that all other things will fall in place. And so one of the foundations is to make sure that equipment are available as much as possible, so that when even a coach goes to a school to go and train a kid, the kid will not be standing idle. There's an equipment for the kid to have. Aside that, it's also very important that you engage people who are training the kids in some kind of training programs. It's very key. They need to understand the game that they are teaching, and it's one of those things that we also want to do, bring up trainers here to help train coaches, to help them in how to score the game, to help them in empowering. We are not that big organization. We are a very small one, but in most cases we've had people who want to help, and we thought that once they want to help, we always bring them to Liberia. So, like I said, the foundation, it's very, when they have the cricket equipment, when people, you build the expertise, the capacity for them to train the kids, and so that's it. It's a new sport.
Also speaking to Situation Report in an exclusive interview, Makia Yanan, president of the Liberia National Cricket Federation, thanked the organization for the donation and further outlined some prospects of the Liberia National Cricket Federation.
Hello, sir. Welcome to Live TV Microphone.
Yeah, hello. Thank you for coming to our program, and thanks to Live TV administration for always identifying with cricket in Liberia.
Okay, tell us what you make of the donation made to the Cricket Association in Liberia today.
Yeah, this donation is a way of identifying with Liberia from our partner from the UK, and this is a long-awaited dream. Today we see that coming to reality, and although it is later for now because it is just on the assessment tour, just to come along, this partnership, if actually things work well as we are anticipating, it will help us to reach almost every part of Moswero County, where we have a lot of schools. Our dream is to take cricket into schools and into the disabled community in Liberia. So right now is like just an assessment. So the equipment donated to us will help us to enter the schools that we have earmarked over the years. So it was very much unique and okay for us. Well, cricket is a sport that unifies people and nations, and all because there is not much publicity done for cricket in Liberia. So the Liberian public haven't really had a dream of cricket as it is anticipated over the years, and that we are right now glad that equipment are coming that will help us to go into schools where we can create schools, class leagues, and other things, cricket activities within the school system. This, we believe, will bring cricket to draw cricket nearer to the public. When you imagine you have your kids going to school or going to do a cricket program or going into cricket seminars in South Africa, Zimbabwe, or whatever country it is, from this partnership, I think this will give you a level of believing that cricket is a game that you can allow your kids to play.
Well, 2017 defeated presidential candidate Magdala Cooper says the purpose of children has been misguided in Liberia and the world at large. Madam Cooper, who's also the founder of the Mandela Cooper Foundation in Congo Town, said children are blessings from God, therefore they must be treated in such form and manner. She spoke Thursday at a one-day child protection and parenting forum organized by the Destined Case Assistance Program, DECA for short, in Painesville.
Inherited these children. They are a blessing from God. They are a blessing to us. But for some reason in our country, we have totally missed God's purpose for children. We have completely missed God's purpose for children. Children are a blessing, they're not a curse. Now, God is a creator of souls. Every soul on this earth, God created that soul. Whether we make them good to serve Him or we make them good to serve something else, that's a different story. But they all came from Him. And they all came down here with a purpose to do something on this earth. To contribute something that the earth is missing. I'm speaking book now? Okay. They all came down here to have with a purpose. To do something on this earth that we got almost 8 billion people on this earth. And that one child, that one soul came down to this earth to do one thing that the other 7.point, almost 8 billion people could not do. But some of us, we don't appreciate God. We say Jesus, 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 but we don't appreciate God. So God has given us a secret to our success through our children, but we neglect it. Then we say, oh, they pray, mother can pray for us. Oh, your child holds that secret to the success you get longing for. I say this because I'm a mother of 3 children, but I've adopted more than 100 of children. The children got too plenty. I had a big mission school to put them in.
Also speaking at the forum, the executive director of the Destined Case Assistance Program, Helena Winning, explained the intent of the organization and its accomplishments over the years.
2012, some of us have been in the life of this organization called Destined Case Assistance Program. And what we've been doing actually has been to give hope of sustainable future to underprivileged children. Many times in our country, when you talk about a child, people will say it is a responsibility of the parent. But when the parent becomes incapacitated, perhaps through visual impairment or other obstacles, then it becomes a responsibility of society to see that that child that is being birthed in the world has the kind of future that other children in the community are being given. So Destined Case Assistance Program has been that organization that has been working with the parents in the community to enroll their children at various schools, particularly children that are orphaned and children whose parents are visually impaired. So we try to highlight this group of people because we know that when you talk about disability in our sector, I don't know who is more disabled than the person that is visually impaired. I know when you are handicapped, you are disabled. I know when you cannot walk, you are disabled. I know other major disabilities, but that disability, that takes away everything from you. That disability needs attention, and that having to be the persons with visual impairment.
Well, for her part, one of the beneficiaries of the Destined Case Assistance Program, Winning Allison, thanked the organization for helping the less privileged. Winning, however, lashed at the government of Liberia for failing to cater to people with disabilities.
I tell God, thank you, because my brother died before in Ebola. These small two children with me, Prince and Princess. No way for them to go to school. One of my friends told me, say, baby, go to Destiny Case. So myself to Akimia, since Akimia with the children, Mola be helping me with Prince and Princess today. Princess will be graduating from K2 to first grade June 30th. So I tell the Almighty God, thank you. I tell God, thank you. They are twins. The other one, the boy child, not too well in the school, but the girl is stopping the ball. I think the ball will be going to in K1 or K2. So Destiny Care have been doing well for all with the discouraged women and men, like in Liberia here. The officials and the government officials, when we come to the program, and remember last year June, when we came here on a Friday, our man called the government official name. None of them came to our rescue. They get two parties to go to their car, please help the blind. They will say, I move from here, so now they get far rate that I'm going to go show to our children. They say, our father, I say, it's in our father. But Destiny Care is doing well for all. I tell God, thank you for Destiny Care and LGM. I tell God, thank you for them, for our children. I tell God, thank you for whatsoever they are doing for all. Let God bless Destiny Care and LGM in Jesus' name.
A prominent human rights activist, Archie Pompon, has criticized the $536 million USD loan agreement between the government of Liberia and Eton Financing. Archie Pompon, speaking to our sister program, Was Ladies Thursday, said the intent of the loan does not have any economic benefit or impact on Liberians.
people are trying to ensuring that you want to access loan only for a road that does not connect in terms of having economic activity and a benefit. In terms of repaying itself back then, it has a effect on the ordinary people that is about to pay the loan after 15 years back. So it's a process. It's a problem for us, and so we disagree. We disagree with the president in terms of wanting to go for the loan. This is not a country of president. This is a country of law, and so we must follow the procedure in terms of how we access loan, what is economic benefit, what is us gearing about, in terms of what framework it is for which it must not be a sovereign debt that will help we the ordinary people. It must be a kind of state-owned enterprising, accessing loan through the access in the road access management institutions set up as a means as to how we'll be able to pay by in terms of creating toll maybe on it. And so you cannot take a sovereign loan just for road and we'll be having $40 million to pay after. No, we don't have that amount because the factor of the economic situations in our country does not feel favorable for us to take that loan and pay $40 million because we will not just pay. And so it's a bad thing. And so these are the agenda that we think is not healthy for this nation and the president will rethink. Yeah, it is also good to credit, but what is the debt to borrowing ratio and the ceiling of the GDP? It's also something has to be considered. I think they have studied the economic feasibility, the economic outlook of the country for which the loan is coming, and what is the loan gearing for. So we disagree with
relative to the 536 million USD loan agreement between the government of Liberia and Eton Financing, some Liberians have been given their own perspectives or impression about this agreement.
See the issue of this loan, the $536 million loan. And in my own capacity as the former star of the Unity Party and now current member of the Coalition for Democratic Change, I believe that this loan coming to Liberia will bring a lot of relief to our people because Liberia, one of Liberia's challenges is the issue of road. And thank God the loan have highlighted the issue of roads. Over the period of time, over 170 years, our major roads, from county to city, have been very difficult and very difficult for people to commute their businesses from farm to market. And so by this president coming up with this idea of securing a loan to see how best that the issue of road can be addressed in our country, we believe that it is commending. And we want to appreciate the House of Representatives for passing this particular Eton financing loan. Because this loan is going to put a smile in the faces of people from Sino County, people from Maryland, people from Grand-Gila, people from Riverside. I'm talking about people who have been facing difficulties and impediments over the years when it comes to the issue of road.
My concern is drawn to the issue of this so-called irresponsible quasi-loan development project that is about to come to Liberia. And let me just put forward the mail provided by one of the speakers here that the loan is not political. It's highly political. It has to do with development, it has to do with Liberia. It is the government, or let's say President William project. He's negotiating for it, so it's political. So to even say it should not be politicized, he is in error. That's the first clarity I want to make here. This loan is not going to benefit Liberian people. This issue about 537 million, it will be a disaster to the survivability of this country if we are not careful. Look, somebody's told the Liberian people that even if it is the devil that want to give President William money, he should receive it. You see such a thing? Where are we going? The devil cannot get anything free. If all you went to the devil to say you want this, in return the devil will tell you, say, sacrifice your son or your daughter or your this relative. At the end of the day, then you cry. So it cannot be nothing the devil can get free. So for me, those kind of irresponsible statement made by irresponsible leaders in this country, I'm warning them for every time they want to make statement, they should have something that's said properly before they come to the press, but before they make any statement. This new, as I said, is very so-called and irresponsible to the survivability of this country.
What we need to do is to make sure that when those money come to Liberia, it's well managed. You know, I would tell people the most important aspect of transparency and accountability is when they give you $5, at the end of the term of the $5, the people hold you accountable and you account to them. So I do, as President, we are almost $1 billion loan, which the legislator yet to ratify. They are ratified 500 and some more million. We got 400 and some more million. If they ratify the two agreements, we will be expecting $1 billion. And our concern as a citizen, we make sure that the $1 billion meet its internal objective. That will stand. So Liberia is for all of us. When the war fought, it didn't say, this is Momo, this is Wea, this is Teresa, this is money man, this is poor man. All of us become a victim.
I see that agreement as necessary and timely at this time. After 171 years, a country that got our independence 1847, and when you check on the international index, Liberia is ranked as the 5th poorest country in the world. When you look at infrastructure, Liberia is ranked among the least of 4 countries. So I think that will alleviate the suffering our people have been going through over a long decade. As somebody who grew up
well, those were Liberians there giving their own perspectives about the 536 million USD loan agreement between the government of Liberia and that of Eton Financing. If you just joined us, it's a reminder that you viewing Situation Report on Live TV. It's 30 minutes in-depth analysis about major current events in Monrovia and its environs. I'm Yekezi Zobe, your anchor, and major stories will follow in this evening say UK philanthropic organization signs a 3-year partnership agreement with the Liberia National Cricket Federation. 2017 defeated presidential candidate Mandela Kopor says the purpose of children has been misguided in Liberia and the world at large. And the human rights activist criticizes the 536 million USD loan agreement between the government of Liberia and Eton Financing. At this juncture, we'd like to take a break to be right back with the rest of the other developments. A pleasant welcome back to the program. The Seventh-day Adventist Hospital on 12th Street, St. Clair, seems to be beset with numerous challenges that have slowed down its effective operations over the years. Jonathan Cooper is the administrator of the hospital and he tells Situation Report more about some of those challenges.
I came over the hospital not at the best of time. I met 3 proposals on the table. They wanted us to downsize the hospital and relocate to the eye center, which is a smaller unit, and that we should cut down staff by 50% and pay all those who had served long tenure. And finally, to cut down patient meal, have patient relatives bring food for them while they're in admission. I found out that those 3 proposals weren't the best thing for the hospital. The main reason behind the cut down is because of operation cost. And what I did was to kind of review the income and expenditure statement from the hospital for 3 years, and I was able to locate where we can cut down costs and still operate the hospital where we are. I saw that we are paying $7,000 per month on generator fuel to maintain 2 generators day and night that were not giving us sufficient power and were interrupting our system. In fact, the generator destroyed our X-ray machine and our ultrasound, and our major lab equipment are damaged. And I also saw that the hospital has been spending a lot of money on drugs. We were spending like $10,000 to $12,000 per month on drugs because we didn't have trained pharmacists in the hospital, and they were just buying drugs that had 3 months to expire. And the only way you can have this to work is if you can have a drugs that are like 1 year or 2 years expiration date. But those drugs that were purchased by the hospital were expiring 2 to 3 months, and they were not fast-moving drugs. As a result, the hospital was losing and not getting the money back. And
well, according to Mr. Cooper, key amongst the challenges facing the hospital is electricity. In complaint that the hospital spends a lot of its resources on purchasing fuel for its generator. He meanwhile said several efforts to have the medical facility connected to the Liberia Electricity Corporation have failed.
Our equipment was damaged due to the electricity not being constant. Most of our equipment prefer working in cool environment and constant electricity. And we are working on that through LEC, the Liberia Electricity Corporation. I applied for electricity from the LEC in February, on the 8th of February up to today. Today is the 1st of June. They have not provided us electricity yet. And this is where we have major problems. We can't replace our X-ray machine. We can't replace our ultrasound machine because the electricity here is not constant. And major goal is to provide solar power for the hospital. So we have LEC at night and the solar power during the day so that we have 24-hour power to run our system in the hospital. Besides, we really want to go with clean energy. The generator is giving a lot of pollution in the neighborhood, and we are a hospital. We can't pollute the environment. We want to use clean energy to give clean environment and also to cut down the noise in the community. Noise-free, pollution-free, that's the goal for now. And constantly.
Well, that's all the time we have for you on this episode of Situation Report on Live TV. But before departing, let's recap major stories we've been following. A UK philanthropic organization signs a 3-year partnership agreement with the Liberia National Cricket Federation. 2017 defeated presidential candidate Madela Cooper says the purpose of children has been misguided in Liberia and the world at large. And a human rights activist criticizes the $536 million USD loan agreement between the government of Liberia and Eton Financing. Many thanks for your viewing role, and thanks to all those who helped in making this package of Situation Report a success. My name is Yekezi Zobel, and for more news and information on Light TV, you can log on to www.lightvonline.com, or better still, you can find us on YouTube at Light Communications Investment. Once more, I'm Yekezi Zobel, bidding you farewell.